Am I good on time?
You're good on time.
Okay. I wanted to, before I go into some of the more specific questions that we had talked about in preparing for today, I wanted to see, just based on the general lay of the land for Team Lorain County, what questions do you have? Denny?
The Cleveland Plus promotion. That's
Yes.
the first time I've seen that used in a while. Is that really going to go anywhere, or are people giving up on it?
Get that. Was that the only place that I have it on here? Okay. It's not, you're not seeing it a lot, and that's okay. Because it's not, there is an aspect of it that is for us, but primarily it's not for us. So if you never saw it, that wouldn't be 100% bad thing. I can tell you that our audience, who is the site selection decision makers, the companies that are out of the area, out of state, are getting inundated with this at trade shows, at invitation to come up here for these FAM tours. Also, another thing that we do in partnership with Team NEO is we might go to, we'll put a trip together for New York City to, hey, you don't want to come see us in Lorain County, we'll go see you and visit you at your offices. So there's a circuit throughout the year. I don't attend all of those, but I may go to one, maybe two, and it's essentially a sales call for the area. And it's what we need to do. This is a highly competitive. Back to your original question with the logo, notice that this Cleveland Plus logo says Lorain County down below. And I think that might be another reason why you don't see it a lot. There was a lot of flack from a lot of different communities when Cleveland Plus rolled out that, well, hey, what? Because it says
we got permission to use Cleveland Plus North Ridgeville. We got permission from the Cleveland Plus people.
Right, and I think Lorain County, we were the first ones to get Cleveland Plus Lorain County, because for those that don't know, it originally said Cleveland Plus, Akron, Youngstown, and Canton. So again, so it might get kind of touchy, dicey here for us locally, but again, the market, in this, there was a lot of money spent on studies to say that I don't know what an Akron is, I don't know what a Northeast Ohio is, but as a site selection consultant, I do know what Cleveland is and generally where it appears on the map. So, yes, Mayor?
Out of your 109 leads that you got up there, does that include the procure leads, which to me are just kind of generic that we get, or are these ones that have actually, made contact?
That includes, in the slide that I didn't include on here is, that's just kind of a spread of the different industries to see where we're making an impact. I've got different numbers that has it spread out by percentages. We use a percentage system, which is...
No, it's quite impressive, the success we've had. I just didn't know if that 109 was...
That's all-encompassing. That means that, hey, we heard about it and we're waiting on more information to be able to provide them with a full proposal, all the way to, hey, we've already had the corporate executives over here from Germany. They know this is the site of choice and they're putting their financing together. So that 109 is all of those. I would say that, I was just looking at today, there is about 12 leads of those that we saw last year that we are in what is called the short list, which means we're the top 3 or 4 sites. And then there's, probably 4 or 5 that we're the site of choice. It's a matter of financing. If you talk to me in September and October of last year when everything was starting to get dicey in the overall economy, I was sitting there going, well, I don't know, I don't want to jinx myself, but all our projects kind of are moving along okay. Came October, everything came to pretty much a screeching halt there. So they're not dead, but there's folks that are going around that are looking for additional financing for their expansion. Any other questions? Okay. One of the things that I know I peeked my head in last week to kind of get a sense of what the questions were, and it was in regard to, okay, we know that we're good at manufacturing, we're heavily automotive now, but what are some other industries that we're looking at going after that we think we're well suited to? Don alluded to it a little bit, but when you look at advanced energy and large wind turbines, the solar panel farms. What we already do is we make in this area a lot of the different pieces, parts for those. A wind turbine, for example, has 8,000 different parts in it. So are we going to shoot to one day be making, and have we had companies that we've showed sites to that make the 80-meter long blades in the towers? Yes, but where we're already well positioned to get into that industry is to make the fasteners that go into those, that make something along the supply chain in advanced energy. Aerospace is another industry that we're keying on. Certainly we have built-in advantages with NASA down the road. Bioscience, just as there's a Team NEO, there's also another organization you may have heard of called BioEnterprise, which is specifically focused on bioscience, as well as they do some with medical manufacturing, medical devices. And that was the next one that I had highlighted here, which is medical device manufacturing. That also leads to, how do we go after these international companies? Well, you can throw a dart at the map and say, well, I think there's some good companies over there in Spain. Or what we're doing, and we're formulating a plan with our regional partner, Team NEO, is first we're looking at these clusters, what we're good at. One being advanced energy for those supply chain benefits. And then we are going to, based on that cluster, try to attract those specific industries internationally. Bringing it down to North Ridgeville, one of the questions that came up was, how can North Ridgeville partner countywide and regionally? I already mentioned that certainly Mayor Gillick in North Ridgeville, Mayor Gillick is on our board, so we're already partnered in that sense. The city of North Ridgeville is part of the Lorain County Growth Partnership. To give you a sense of one of the ways that we utilize the Lorain County Growth Partnership is that in our industry, I may get, and this has literally happened in August, I got a call from somebody that was looking at an old tank factory in Mansfield, was getting on their corporate jet and said, hey, we're going to be in Lorain County in about an hour and a half. Can you prepare us a tour at this site? And also, by the end of the day, we'd like to talk to some people that control the local incentives. Well, because of this Lorain County Growth Partnership that we have set up, with one phone call, I was able to get a car that could fit all the representatives, be out at the airport, pick them up, organize the tour. By the time I got them back at about 4:30 p.m., we had all the people in a conference room that they needed to speak to, from the workforce development folks to the incentive folks. So that's one of the great assets. Business connections, help to promote business connections. 80% of our job growth is going to come from our current businesses. And the only way we know how we can help them is if we're out there and we're out there talking to them, and we're out there not doing a howdy-doody call, but we're out there talking about the key things that are important to their business and that can make and break them.